So here we go again. It says I'm live, so I'm going to start talking. Thank you so much for watching. Even if it's one person, I really appreciate it. This is No One Unscripted. This is, what would be, 8th video, 9th video, something. Anyway, it's H, right? We're on H. So today I'm going to talk about humanity. Yesterday I spoke about government. And since it's H, I mean, it's how. How do you, how has humanity gotten to where we are was kind of discussed yesterday. And I'm being a little lazy today, sorry. By the way, if you're here, please subscribe and please like, because I would really appreciate that. That way you'll get a notification when we're here to chat. I guess someone's watching. Whoever you are, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. See, humanity has been around for, 10,000, 20,000 years. We had Stone Ages and the Bronze Ages, and then we came out of it and we came out of our caves, and then we built our families, and then our families built tribes, and our tribes learned how to hunt and gather and farm, and on and on and on and on to major empires like the Roman Empire, the Mayan Empire, the Egyptian Empire, the various Indian empires, and the longest single family monarchy, which is Japan, which is sustained now for over 2,000 years. This is the legacy of humanity. We have coalesced, and we have been able to survive as long as we have coalesced and come together. And I think that that's something that is so fleeting and that's so ironic in a world that is so connected. 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, me speaking to you live, one person watching or two people watching or somebody commenting, this would be kind of like in real time. This would be unheard of. And yet we are isolated. Yet we are unaware. Yet we choose to be, right? So that is the state of humanity today. The hubris of humanity. That's another H for you. Hubris is undeserved pride, right? Like, it's this self-aggrandizing pride that you have, and there's really no reason for it. There's no reason, there's no rationale for it. It's just you have overdeveloped your ego, and there's nothing you see beyond yourself, and therefore the hubris of humanity, this brazen ownership and entitlement of us inheriting the earth, us being the dominant species, and us being the best, and God left us for the last day, and then all this story gaga about. We don't live in a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum. You have to understand that if you follow the Bible, before God made people, God made Adam and Eve and whatever other people, he had to create the universe. If you say it's a he, in some cultures it's a she, and in my personal conscious culture, it's just everything. God is everything. I guess I should have spoken of God in G, but that was me being a little short-sighted, I suppose. But God is everywhere, right? So God's going to come up everywhere. Because God is not a he, God is not a she, God is not an entity. God is an idea of universal oneness, the connectedness, the intersections, the coincidences, the happenings, the conjunctions, everything, the air we breathe, the oxygen, the fact that oxygen is oxygen no matter where you are in the universe. That is God. That's the omnipresence of God. And we have been callous in our hubris. We have been careless and we have been prideful and we have been wrong in our governance of what we have been given, which is the ability to both admire and adore, but more importantly, but also preserve what's given to us. So, we have created this hell. That's another H for you. I don't think it needs definition. I think we're living through it. And as we live through it, I think we have to realize that heaven and hell is a state of mind, right? Whether you believe in an afterlife, whether you believe in reincarnation as Hindus do, whether you believe in one life like Christians do, whether you believe in a God or whether you believe in what the Prophet Muhammad says, whatever the case is, heaven and hell is a state of mind. And nothing in your life will make you more sure of it than what's happening in the world today. How delicate we are, how fragile we are, how easily upended we are by nature's one little nanoscopic viral infection, right? We think of tidal waves coming and the earth eating away, which is happening, by the way, all over the world. When a glacier falls, you don't think there's a tidal wave that happens. We're just not affected by it directly. But the earth's eating away, right? The earth's falling into the sea. In Bangladesh, in the various island nations of the Pacific, there are island nations of the Pacific that are buying land in other countries so they can move their people there. I forget the name of that. Is it the Marshall Islands or is it Tuvalu or one of those or the Marin? I don't know. It's a Pacific island that's doing this, but I mean, we don't see this, right? But now we feel this fear of our own mortality, this immediate, imminent threat to our lives. And we are like, oh my God, where did this come from? It's China's fault. It's America's fault. It's the president's fault. It's everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. If you think it can't happen to you, this virus is here to tell you that, oh, you're wrong. This virus is the primary antagonist in this story that we are living in right now. But it's not the only antagonist. It's not the only villain. The villain is in us, in our choices, in not being able to govern humanity through crises properly, to not being able to choose our leaders properly, to not have our priorities in the right places, in education, in general safety and welfare, in awareness, in building an awareness, in teaching children the importance of caring for others, of course, being self-sufficient and loving oneself, not selfishly. Why would you love yourself selfishly? That's just really awful. I've done it before. But love as much as you can. Love everything you can. All the time. Even when you're angry, find the love in it. Even when you want revenge, find the forgiveness. Take your time. The time is now for you to do so. I'll come to you. I'll come to you more frequently because I feel this urgency to connect with people now, where I'm sitting here lazing around. I'm doing my work, writing and painting, which I've been doing in my house for years now, and I'm still penniless, and that's my struggle. But I want to connect with you. I want to talk to you. I want to see why you're not aware. I want to see what can be done to make you more aware, to understand that every single thing is connected in this world. And if we don't start looking at these connections, one after the other, after the other, after the other, these calamities will keep coming. During this coronavirus crisis, there have been two major earthquakes, right? The oil prices are fluctuating up and down, less so directly because of the coronavirus, and more so because hegemonic powers and oligarchies like Russia and Saudi Arabia, absolute monarchy Saudi Arabia, and an oligarchy that is controlled by Putin in Russia, are controlling the price war of oil, destabilizing the global economy. Now, where's the responsibility for that? And China needs to take responsibility for the actions of ramping up their support of global healthcare services, and also opening up their borders for international inspectors so they can go in there and inspect and see what's happening with the virus in that country. There is no room for countries, even as isolated as North Korea, to be isolated at point. People like Kim Jong-un, I ask you this, sir, Mr. Chairman, who are you going to be governing over if they are all dead? Or if there's so many dead that no one can plant the paddy fields? I ask President Putin, who is going to take care of your country? If you keep reporting and if you keep everything locked down, you have to open up for the welfare of the people. I speak to the world leaders who are curbing agricultural agriculture at the moment to keep distance. Be aware, take precautions, but how stupid is it for you to stop farmers from farming? We eat. What are we going to eat? Cardboard? So these basic questions need to be answered. And I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about people, amazing journalists like Amish Alcindor, who stood up to the American president saying that, no, sir, you said this. We need more people like her. We need people to say, no, I'm not giving this mic away. Take my credentials and then I'll give my mic. I have a right to be here in the press room, in the press hall, in the press lawn, wherever it is, and ask the questions that every American needs answered. So until we do these things, until we do these aggressively, until the people rise up and force our leaders to govern and not be politicians, and not be power-hungry, greedy, selfish, power-mongering billionaires and millionaires and sycophants. Because at the end of the day, they're also going to go hungry. You're also going to go hungry, Mr. Trump. You're going to go hungry, Mr. Putin. They're going to come after you, Mr. Bezos. They're going to come after you, Mr. Mr. Putin, King Salman, the royal family of England, of Britain. People are at some point going to get desperate enough that they're going to come to you. And you're still going to be wrapped up in bureaucracy and red tape when people are dying, not just from the virus, but also starvation and basic lack of sense on your part. Where are the masks? Where are the ventilators? Where is the efficient public policies that need to happen with healthcare and proper movement of society? Where is it? Why isn't it happening fast enough? It's been 3 months now. There are today 1 million confirmed cases of coronavirus in the world in over 193 countries with at least 50,000 deaths. How is that possible? And with no, and mind you, with no down trajectory in sight. And you think that it's all right to still do stopgap measures? It's not. $2 trillion in the US is not enough. $85 billion in India is a joke. world leaders like Shinzo Abe and them still considering enforcing a lockdown is just asinine. I woke my dog up. Whoops. Anyway, so that's all I have to say today about governance and the lack of governance, the blatant sinful pride, the hubris that we have as human beings today is palpable, and it's killing people and it's destroying society. We take short-sighted views of this is bad. The market's going up today because oil prices are, because Russia and Saudi Arabia are finally talking, oh, good. Oh, no, not good. Get them to the table to stabilize for good. Demand more. You deserve more. You deserve more. Thank you so much. I'm convinced. By the way, I'm just convinced that this one person, it's a trick by YouTube. It's just one person. It's not just, if it's one person, it has to be me, right? Because I don't know. No. If it's one person, thank you, whoever you are. One person watching, which is fine. Please like, please subscribe, please tell your friends to come here and talk to me. And maybe even start a discussion. It'd be fun. It'd be less crazy sounding than me just ramping up and talking to the camera and pretending like you're there. I care about you. I love you all. It's okay to say that to people you care about. I care about this planet. I care about the animals. And it's taken me 38 years to learn the art of forgiveness and to focus on progress instead of holding ourselves back with vengeance and fear. And there's nowhere to hide in the world, in the universe, from vengeance, fear, and the inevitable. But we're here to do what we can with the time that's given to us. And I pray that we make the best of it. Thank you for watching. Bye.